Hi there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, November 14th, 2021. I wanted to start by telling you how grateful I am for those of you that watched last week and saw that I was sick with a cold and reached out to me, that you were sending me prayer, sending me Reiki, sending me healing vibes. It worked. I got through that cold faster than any cold in my entire life. So I always believed in the power of prayer for others in particular, and I felt it. So your healing and prayers were received, and I'm so very grateful. Really, really appreciate it. So I got a great team here. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I want to ask everybody who's watching to do one thing. And that is, please share this with one other person that you know will find this valuable, right? Just one other. Every week my subscriptions creep up, my views are creeping up. So if everybody that's watching sends it to one person to watch, I will double my views in 1 week. So that's what I would love for you to do, is to send it to one other person. If you wanted to send it to more than one, hey, that's up to you. I certainly won't hate you for it. So this week I'm going to talk about the transits for the week. The most important one is a lunar eclipse that we're going to be having. So I'll talk about that. Powerful, powerful, powerful. We've got a lot of astrology this week, so it may take a little bit longer than usual to go through everything that I sense going on. And as always, I'm going to channel with the information that I know astrologically. So I'm a channel, I'm an empath, I'm a medium. So I'm always operating from all faculties that I can when I'm doing my readings and when I'm doing these videos. So I never know quite what's going through. Kind of lay out a template of notes, and then a lot of it just comes through me as I'm recording this. And I really appreciate too those of you who have told me how much you like these videos. It really means the world to me for you to get your feedback too. So after I go through the transits, then I will do mini readings for all 12 signs, because I know that's what you guys love the most. And this is for your sun signs, your moon signs, your rising signs, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a sign. If you don't know this information, you can easily plug in your birth date, time, and place of birth at astro.com and get a free horoscope and know what your rising, moon, and sun sign are, and if you have stelliums going on. And if you don't want to do that yourself, contact me. Be happy to schedule a reading with you and go over your chart and go over how the transits are affecting you. So also want to remind you that if you're on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, every day I put out a 1-minute video, and I'll talk about a transit. I'll do a tarot. I'll pull a card. It's whatever I feel guided to do. Little short, sweet 1-minute videos. So if you're on those platforms, check those out as well. I'll put the information for mine below this video as well, and I'll be putting timestamp for all the mini readings. So let's dive in. Okay, so the backdrop for this week, the sun is moving through the last decan of Scorpio. So each sign is divided up into 3 decans, and from 20 to 29 is the 3rd decan. And this primarily concerns ourselves with the future, and then related to whatever sign it is. So Scorpio is about setting boundaries. It's about making cuts. It's about our deep, deep, deep intuition. It's about personal transformation and change. So this would be, as the sun moves through this, what are we going to be doing into the future with our personal transformation? That's the Cliff Notes version. We also have Mercury in the mid decan, as well as Mars in the mid decan of Scorpio. So they've been traveling close together. They're like 4 degrees apart today. So they're also in Scorpio. So we have a stellium in Scorpio. So lot of emphasis on this transformational energy. So Scorpio is ruled by the planet Pluto, and Pluto is all about death and transformation, power and control. So when we have planets in the sign of Scorpio, we have a tendency to want to dive deep Scorpio is the deep, dark waters. It's secrets that can come up and be revealed. It's a great time to go into therapy or just dig deep within yourself, have deep conversations with others. So the full moon lunar eclipse this week will be exact at 2:57 a.m. Austin, Texas time on Friday morning. So like Thursday night at between when you go to bed, unless you want to wake up or stay up to watch the eclipse. This eclipse is the longest lasting eclipse in a century. It's going to be lasting 3 hours and 28 minutes. So that's also making extra potency. So eclipses are full moons on steroids. They're transformational portal times. We feel them beforehand. So we've already been feeling this eclipse energy, and we'll be feeling them for months afterwards as well. So it's not just the energy of what happens this week. Most definitely, you're going to feel something shifting this week because of all the planet energetics that we have going on. But you'll also be feeling this transformational change in through the next 6 months, right? Powerful, powerful. So the last time we had an eclipse, so it's going to be at 27 degrees of Taurus. So if you have any planets around 27 degrees of Taurus or across the skies at 27 degrees of Scorpio, you're going to feel this more personal. Or if you have planets that are in trines to, squares with, oppositions directly across the skies, squares are at a 45-degree angle, sextiles are like 2 signs over, trines are 4 signs over. So if you have any planets at 27 degrees, you're going to feel this even stronger. And even, anything within 10 degrees is considered conjunct. The closer the degree point is, the stronger you're going to feel that. So the last time we had a lunar eclipse at 27 degrees of Taurus was November 20th of 2002. So I just wanted to give you a little bit of showcasing of how this could show up. So in my life of November of 2002, I was pregnant with my number 6 kiddo, who was due to be born April 18th, which would have made him an Aries, right? Had this lunar eclipse in Taurus at 27 degrees. When does this baby born? Not on the 18th of April. No, he waited 5 more days and he was a Taurus. Not only was he born a Taurus, he was born a triple Taurus. So this lunar eclipse, in 2002 for me was heralding the birth, Taurus full moon eclipse, of a new Taurian energy into my life, right? So that's just how it showed up for me last time. I can guarantee you that same phenomena will not be repeated this time, but I could very well have the birth of a new person coming into my life because that's what happened last time around. So you could think back to what was going on in your life of November 2002 and into the first half of 2003, what was going on in your life. You may have a revisit of a karmic theme or a karmic pattern, just something to throw out there to chew on, to look at. Okay, so I'm going to go back and talk about what's going on in the sky. So we've just had Chiron, its retrograde, move back to 8 degrees of Aries. Okay, so Chiron is the wounded healer. Its purpose is to bring up the wounded stuff for healing in our life. And its glyph looks like a key. So the purpose is to have it healed, not to just feel re-triggered and re-wounded. If you avoid doing your work, however, it could very much feel like you're being triggered or re-wounded. If you look at when your wounds come up as an opportunity to shift and heal them, this is the way to approach it. Okay. So 8 degrees is about making a decision, making a commitment. And the first decan of Aries is about with yourself. So where have you had wounding when it comes to making or keeping commitments with yourself? Making decisions that are about your well-being and your healing. So that's sort of a backdrop theme that's going on this week, the opportunity to do things differently. Again, with the energy of this lunar eclipse this week, it's about transformational portal time. Like it's like stepping into the transporter back in Star Trek and being, transported to a completely different time, right? So it's an opportunity. Full moons are always about endings, wrapping up cycles, whereas new moons are new beginnings. So, it could be an ending of an old pattern, an old karmic pattern. The nodes right now this week are at 1 degree of Gemini and 1 degree of Sag. The nodes are always across the skies from each other, and they always move in a retrograde pattern. I mean, they'll do a little moving forward, just like the planets moving forward most of the time can stop and turn retrograde. So the nodes right now are at 1 degrees. So 1 degrees is about self-love. North node in Gemini is about our thoughts. It's ruled by Mercury, so it's about our thoughts, our thinking, right? What's going on within our mind. So the North node at Gemini is shining a light on what is your self-love talk. Like, are you being loving to yourself in your self-talk? Now, this lunar eclipse is going to be 4 degrees away from the North node at 27 degrees of Taurus. So it's going to shine the light on, and it can be an opportunity to really transform your self-talk, how you think about yourself for all time. It's a great opportunity to do that. Okay. Conversely, on the other side, the South node is always about letting go, releasing. It's about past lives. It's about belief systems, because it's in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius rules our beliefs, what we believe. So you could have this aha realization and really change what you believe to be true. Again, at 1 degree, what you believe to be true about yourself. If you've been carrying stinking thinking, it's an opportunity to let go of this with this lunar eclipse. Also, at the lunar eclipse time, Vesta, which is an asteroid, is going to be also right there conjunct the South node. Now, I personally see Vesta. Let me get a little backstory on Vesta. Vesta was a goddess. She was a virgin. They would pick a young virgin to guard the sacred flame back in Rome, right? So I see Vesta as where we've sacrificed ourselves in past lives, or where we've allowed ourselves to be sacrificed, right? Where we, so this is an opportunity to clear out how you've basically shot yourself in the foot or sacrificed yourself to others, right? So there could be that theme going on this week in a very powerful way. So we have the moon in Aries as I'm recording this. In fact, it's exactly conjunct my sun right now. So this should be a powerful video. Tomorrow on Monday, we have the sun at 23 degrees of Scorpio squaring off with Jupiter. Now, squares can be contentious, it's like two cars coming to the intersection at the same time. Jupiter is a beneficent planet, how it brings good luck. It also represents our belief system. So you could have this, vying for, what do I believe? An illumination deep within yourself. You may have a truth revealed about what you believe about something, and it's an opportunity to change directions about what you believe, right? But Jupiter expands things, so it's expanding the energy of the sun at 23 degrees of Scorpio. So this is what we believe to be true about our future. What is our future going to hold? How are we going to transform ourselves into the future? So Jupiter could bring some amazing, powerful insights with this square on Monday, tomorrow. And I wrote in my notes when I was writing notes, I can't believe it. It can bring up something unbelievable, because it can be surprising, the realization you might have, right? So also on Monday, we have Venus squaring Chiron. So I just talked about Chiron and what it's meaning. Venus is a planet of love. It's about relationships. It's about our money. It's who we love, what we love, how we receive energies, and our finances, money. That's some of the things that Venus represents. So squaring off with Chiron, where have we had a contentious relationship with what we believe we deserve when it comes to love and relationships, what we believe we deserve when it comes to money. So Chiron squaring Venus is an opportunity to heal this too. So there's so many opportunities for shifting patterns and for healing things this week. Incredible week in that way. So the moon is still going to be in Aries on Tuesday. We'll also have the sun sextiling Pluto. So this is a positive relationship. It's going to be at 24 degrees. Pluto is at 24 degrees. So Pluto, again, is death and transformation, power and control. The sun is in a harmonious relationship with this. Again, Pluto is bringing in extra potency and extra oomph to our ability to transform something deep within ourselves and our beliefs about what's going to be happening into the future, about our transformation and what lies ahead. So again, more emphasis on this transformative energy this week. Then Wednesday, we'll have the moon moving into Taurus, and Taurus backing up. The moon in Aries can make us more impulsive. It can make us more fiery. If people have unresolved anger issues, it can make people extra pissy. It also can make people more passionate and childlike. Aries is the child of the zodiac. And so those are some of the things that you could have happening with the moon in Aries. As the moon moves into Taurus, Taurus is about our values. What do we value? Who do we value? Again, it's about our money. It's about our food. It's about our resources. So our energy can shift. What do we value? What do we want to invest in? Can be what some of our thoughts go to as the moon goes into Taurus. On Wednesday, we will also have Mars, which is the planet of war. It's also how we put energy into things, how we go through, put things into motion. It's also the surgeon's knife that cuts things, right? So we have Mars opposite Uranus at 12 degrees of Taurus. So Uranus is a maverick. It brings the unexpected. So you can't predict what's going to be. It's going to have something to do with unexpected movement forward in your life. Something can come in unexpectedly. Someone can come in unexpectedly. Be careful in your vehicles or wielding knives on Wednesday, because you could have a sudden unexpected cut. You could have a sudden unexpected car accident. You could have a sudden unexpected brouhaha with someone else because of this war energy and Uranus being something unexpected. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. It can be a positive incoming. It can be something disconcerting. It can be something, oh my God, I can't believe it. But it's a powerful, potent opposition. Something unexpected will happen on Wednesday. So be careful. Thursday, we have Mercury, the planet of communication and our thoughts, trining Neptune, the planet that represents our psychic connection, our spiritual connection. It's also the planet that represents illusion, delusion, confused thinking. Depending on all planets, all signs have pros and cons, right? So Mercury trine, Neptune trine is usually a very positive aspect that'll bring out the best in each sign. So the best of our thinking, the best of our psychic intuition and spiritual connections, having a beautiful trine on Thursday. So you could have some really amazing insights, particularly if you quiet your mind so that you can receive psychic downloads. And I believe everyone is psychic. We all have intuitive abilities. Some of us, the volume is just turned up extra loud. Some people's volumes turned down or off. Everybody can work to increase their connection with their own intuition, which shows up differently for everybody. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that out there. Also on Thursday, we'll have the moon crossing over Uranus. This, so we may have that Mars-Uranus opposition bringing something unexpected. And then the moon will cross over it the next day going, yeah, and that, and it will oppose Mars. So it could even be a 2 days worth of disconcerting energy. And things can happen before and after these points too. These are just when things are exact. So you can start feeling these. I often personally feel transits ahead of time. I feel things coming, or I'll feel a residual effect afterwards. You may also find that that's happening for you. Okay. So then on Friday, that's when we have the lunar eclipse in the middle of the night before, most of us will be sleeping unless you set an alarm and want to get up and watch. It's going to be a red moon. It's not going to be a total eclipse, but it's going to be almost total. So it's going to be really beautiful visually, as long as there's not cloudy skies. We should be able to see it here in North America for sure. Okay, so an interesting thing about this lunar eclipse is that President Biden has his sun at 27 degrees of Scorpio. So this lunar eclipse is going to be directly opposite him. So it's going to be a strong activation and impact on him. Now he's a Sag rising, so this is happening in his sixth house, the full moon. It's releasing, letting go. And sixth house is health, it's your service to other people, it's your work, it's your daily groove. And so there could be something, again, it may not happen on this week, it may happen sometime in the next 6 months. There could be something powerful that's ending for him personally, because this is so personally connected to him. He also has his Venus at 28 degrees, which will also be conjunct or opposite this lunar eclipse. So this is can affect him personally, financially, his love life, someone he loves. He could lose someone he loves with this connection. And then his Mercury is at 21 degrees. It's again, it's 6 degrees off. It's still going to be feeling, so his communication. So he's going to be directly affected personally by this lunar eclipse. How? I don't know. I haven't been given any visuals, but what keeps coming up for me is there could be something with his health over the next 6 months. Okay. What else have I written about that? Okay. So on Friday, Venus, the planet of love, relationships, money, will be trining Uranus. So there could be something positive, unexpected coming in the realm of love relationship on this lunar eclipse day. You could really have love show up in your life. You could have surprise of money show up. You could have I feel this is so potent and so powerful. This lunar eclipse all by itself. And then when you have something like the planet of Uranus, which is like the great awakener, and Venus, the planet of love, in a harmonious relationship on that same day, woo, I get kind of goosebumpy feeling with that, like, woo, it's going to be such a powerful day. We'll also still be feeling the Mars opposite Uranus going on then. And then Jupiter, which has been at 23 degrees, moves to 24 degrees. So outer planets move more slowly. So it's been hanging out at 23 degrees for a while. It went retrograde and now it's going back forward again. So anytime an outer planet changes degrees, we feel it in some way. So again, on this same day, we have Jupiter switching degrees. So Jupiter is a beneficial, expansive energy, bringing good luck. To this full moon on steroids energy. Another astrologer I follow calls this, the 27 point of Taurus, a Pleiadian galactic point. So I'm just throwing that out there for what that's worth. Not coming from me. That's just what someone else said. I'm like, wonder what that means. I don't know, but some of you might know. You may get a hit on that yourselves. If you do, you can let me know. On Saturday, we have the moon going into Gemini. We have Mercury squaring Jupiter, which can be a contentious relationship. It can bring up, again, with our thoughts, what do we believe? Oh my God. Like our beliefs could be totally transformed this week. Whatever we think we believe in, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe to be true about our country, our world, the people in our life, all that can really be, all bets are off this week because we're going through this wormhole together, right? This portal to something completely different. It's an opportunity to let go of old karmic patterns, old ways of believing about ourselves that have haunted us, that we keep dragging and repeating. So, and again, it's different for everybody depending on where these are showing up in your personal chart. So if you want to get a more microscopic view of how that may be specifically affecting you, you know how to contact me to get a session. Okay. Also on Saturday, we have a yod, which is like the finger of God. It's pointing between the moon and Mars and Venus. So the moon will be pointing to this energy in Gemini, between Mars and Venus. So it's another opportunity to shift what we're thinking and the direction we're headed in our lives. Sunday we'll have the moon be moving into Cancer, and it will have the very last day of Scorpio. So that's Sunday, a week from today. All right, so let me go back over my notes and see if I've missed anything. So Sun, Mercury, and Mars all in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. So this can be illumination, insights, cutting cords, changing karmic patterns. There's a new story. You could transport yourself to a new dimension with this full moon lunar eclipse. And again, we'll feel this beforehand, and we'll continue to feel this for the next 6 months. Talked about the nodes. This is just super intensive. Yeah, I think I've covered all my notes. So now this eclipse is the first of two. We'll have a solar eclipse on the new moon on December 4th. So this is also a powerful portal energy. This lunar eclipse, however, I believe is more powerful. The full moon, I mean, full moon's already, right? Pull the tides, right? We're made of water, so we feel the full moons regardless. So an eclipse, again, full moon on steroids, we'll all be feeling this. Watch out for lunatics out and about. Like, there's a reason for that word, right? My mother is a piano teacher. She could always tell when the moon was full by the misbehavior of her children and her students with their lessons and such. So, you know, it can bring out people feeling all emotionally wiggy. So just like look out, it could bring up your feelings. You could feel extra emotional because we have the sun in Scorpio bringing up deep feelings, you know, deep experiences. You may have past life reflections and energies come up this week. Super powerful portal moving into December, which is a super powerful month. Starting off with a solar eclipse, we'll have Venus in Capricorn. Venus is in Capricorn. In Capricorn, she'll be in there until first part of March, longer than usual because she'll go retrograde in December. She'll be conjunct Pluto, death and transformation, through a lot of the month because she'll be conjuncting it going forward, and then she'll be conjuncting it coming back. So there can be amazing transformations in people's relationships and their relationships with money in December, positive and negative transformations. Then we'll have Venus will go retrograde. We'll have the third and final square right before Christmas of Saturn and Uranus. So the first square happened back in February when we had the great freeze here in Texas and we lost power and water and unexpected weather came together, right? So Uranus, unexpected, Saturn, how we form things, how we structure things, how we, you know, the government, you know, squaring off, right? So the third and final square, we had another one over the summer. It was milder this summer, I noticed. So the third and final square of that will be happening the day before Christmas. And so with, again, in the wake of the eclipses, the nodes at, you know, 1 degree, they'll move into 0 degrees before they'll move and change signs. The nodes stay in a sign for 1.5 years. So the nodes are wrapping up the lesson. They're teachers, right? The North Node is what we're supposed to be learning. So as it's moved through Gemini, it's all about what we're supposed to have been learning about how we think about ourselves. It's Mercury. So it's also the media and communications in general, transportation, all that's been highlighted for the last 1.5 years. And then the South Node's been going through Sag, letting go of belief systems. So in January, we'll be switching for the next 1.5 years into Taurus. The North Node will be in Taurus. We'll be focusing on what do we value? How do we value ourselves, our money, our finances, our food, how we clothe ourselves, and the South Node in Scorpio. So that's going to be intensive for the next 1.5 years. A lot of past life memories. I think people who even have not even had past life flashbacks before will begin to have them next year. And the most important backdrop for next year is that in the United States here, we'll be having our Pluto return, the planet of death and transformation, power and control, coming back around to the point where it was in the skies on July 4th of 1776, right? And so we'll have the first exact conjunction of that in February, and we'll have 3 different conjunctions, exact conjunctions of that all next year. So the backdrop of next year, we think we've had transformational, unexpected years these last 2 years. I really predict that 2022 is the most transformative year that any of us have ever lived through. That's going to be my prediction. So these eclipses are setting up the energy for what's going to be happening into next year. So I think that's all I have. Is there anything else that I need to talk about? No, I feel like I've covered all the basics right now. That's leading to me. Oh, I talked about Venus in Capricorn. So Venus in Capricorn she's hardworking in Capricorn. She moves more slowly. So Venus relationships, so she's feeling things out. She's hardworking. So she's willing to do whatever it takes. So again, she's going to be conjuncting Pluto in December. There's going to be a lot of relationships that are ending. There may be a lot of relationships ending this week with this lunar eclipse, because again, full moons are about endings. Eclipses just amplify that. So you may go, I'm done with this relationship, done with this job, done with this way of thinking, done with this way of believing, done with you, done with this, like over. And again, with Mars, the ninth in Scorpio, it can be some deep cuts, some cuts that really hurt. I do feel that anything you might lose or have to let go of is for a greater purpose. It's for a spiritual transformation, because I feel like we're all here on the planet to transform our souls, right? We're kind of Disney programmed that the purpose of life on the planet is to find your one soulmate and live happily ever after. Yeah, no. Relationships are about transformation and growth, I think, in their best. You could go to sleep in a relationship and not be doing your work. So to me, the best relationships are ones that help you transform and evolve, because the inner work that your soul gets to do here in this lifetime, that you get to carry on with you into other lifetimes, other dimensions. You don't get to carry your physical trappings, your house, your money in your bank, your position. None of that goes with you. How you evolve and grow as a soul, that's what we're really supposed to be doing here. So these planetary transformational energies are perfect for you really getting there and getting your work done. So I feel like a lot of people who've been asleep will be waking up. And those of us who have already been awake, have already been working on ourselves for 4 decades. That's my story. We can really transport ourselves into a future place, like a better place, like really let go of an old karmic story and really embrace a new one. Okay, that's what I have to say about the transits this week. I'm gonna take a little swig of my sparkling water and then go into the readings for all 12 signs. I'll start with Aries. Again, this is if your sun is in Aries, your moon is in Aries, your rising sign is Aries, or if you have a stellium in Aries. See what you guys need to do, what you need to know for this week, how this eclipse may be showing up to affect you. And in case you're wondering, I use the Osho Zen Tarot deck. The moment to moment card is coming up. So this is the card that's about getting guidance in this one moment. What this moment do I feel guided to do? What's the next step? So Aries, you may not be able to figure it all out all week long. You may not be able to figure out a plan for the whole week, but every day, every moment, it's about getting download. You might get some sort of insight into like the next 24 hours, like where should I be putting my energies tomorrow? You might get some of that today, but this is about downloads, directions. It's like Hansel and Gretel following the breadcrumbs every day, every moment. Also, the moment to moment card is about really centering. You see this guy's in his Taekwondo garb, or I don't know what this, it's like Taekwondo and a monk's robe combined or something. So it's very Zen, very spiritual. So it's a wonderful opportunity to make, this is, to me, I'm getting daily meditation for Aries this week, like Give yourself time every day, even if it's just a few moments. You don't have to like sit down for 30 minutes. 30-minute meditation is wonderful. I make sure I get at least 30 minutes of meditation in every day without exception. Most days, first thing in the morning after I get up, wake up, you know. Um, I'll go in for double dipping, triple dipping if I need to, stop and breathe if something comes up for me to move through it. So this is about really tuning into yourself. What is going on within your body? What is going on within your mind? What is going on within this relationship? What is going on in my life? Are you paying attention to the little details? Are you being here now? This is about being here in this present moment, right? Not reel yourself back in from the past, pull yourself out of fearing or worrying about the wreckage of the future. Get right here, right now, be fully present, listen to your intuitive guidance, and then follow it. If you're doing that every day, this can be an amazing week of personal transformation. Like each day can feel like you're transforming something this week, Aries. Like it feels like it can really be 1 minute after another of, oh my God, I can't believe this. Oh my goodness. Like it feels like it's almost like it feels like it's opening presents every day this week is kind of the image I'm getting. So I'm getting goosebumps with that. So there's like a lot of gifts coming in for the Aries this week, like surprise opportunities, gifts from the universe is what it feels like. The universe has got your back, is showing you how. All you have to do is quiet the mind and tune in and ask yourself, what today do I feel guided to do? And if the whole day is too long, what in the next hour do I feel guided to do? What in the next 10 minutes do I feel guided to do? Break it down, just do what that next prompting is. And when you finish with that, you can go back within to get the instruction for the next. All right, it should be a powerful, transformative week for everybody this week, but I think there's a deepening spiritual connection going on for the Aries this week. All right, Taurus. Sun, moon, rising, stelliums in Taurus. The success card. All right. This is good news. This is positive results from your hard work efforts. It's being able to feel a sense of relief. You may get some acclaim of some sort. Um, the tiger's walking on the globe, so there could be some sort of international connection. You might be planning a trip. You may be hearing from someone that lives somewhere else on the planet. You may be connecting with someone else that's a foreigner. You may be reading something about something that's happening on the other side of the globe, but it's about celebration. It's the parade. You get to be highlighted in some way this week. So it's good news, Taurus. Like well deserved is what I'm hearing. You deserve it. Celebrate, enjoy, take in what's good and positive in your life. Focus on what you have to be grateful for, what there is in your life that is positive. Like if you're trapped into some negative thinking or feeling stuck, just doing a scan of everything in your life that you can be appreciative of or feel grateful for can really shift the energy. But I don't feel like you're going to have much trouble with this week, because this feels super powerful that the universe is coming in with some winds of change and positive news for you. Things may just pop up last minute. An opportunity to do a gig if you're a musician, or a work opportunity, or a promotion, or a new relationship opportunity, or opportunity to travel. Something I feel like unexpected could come in, something that you're not seeing right now today, or, depending on when you look at this, you may go, yeah, that happened to me this week if you're looking at this after the fact. So anyway, that's what I'm getting for the Tauruses. All right, Geminis. Sun, moon, risings in Gemini. Stelliums. If you have a stellium in Gemini, Gemini is the twins. So if you have more than one planet in Gemini, you have two planets in Gemini, that's two sets of twins. 3 or 4 planets in Gemini, it's a whole committee up in there. So you guys have the hardest time meditating. If you've got a stellium in Gemini, it's hard to sit still. So doesn't mean you can't. It just means it's extra challenging, right? You may be someone who needs to take a walk or take a run or be on a bicycle to get your meditation time. You may have to include movement, or chanting might be easier for you than just trying to be still or quiet because of all that mental activity. It's kind of hard to be completely mentally still. Even your dreams feel like they're active this week, Gemini. So write those down, by the way. Geminis are great writers usually. We usually have a great sense of humor, very creative, inventive. Ooh, the no thingness card. So this is a blank, clean slate. This is the new beginning, blank canvas. First page of the great American novel, whatever. You know, this is your opportunity to create something new. You could create something new, a work of art. You can create a new relationship this week, a new job, a new life path, a new belief in yourself. This is a powerful new beginning this week, Gemini, for you to paint something new on it. What do you want to paint on it? Like, to me, the power is within you. The universe is not dictating. Like, make sure you're clear about what you want to manifest into the future. What do you want your future to look like when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your career, when it comes to your home, when it comes to your family, when it comes to travel, when it comes to your world? What do you envision? Make sure you're taking some time to think about that. You may want to do a vision board this week where you do a poster and cut out things out of magazines and put on it the things that you want to manifest in your life. It's particularly powerful if you're going in specifically in a specific area, or just in general. I've done a vision board where I cover everything I want in my life. And I really starting to see things show up that I've put on that board. I've done them over and over and over again and over the years. It's really fun, creative project, but do something creative and new this week, Gemini. So begin writing something, even if it's just writing in your journal. Write a new song, right? Paint something, draw something, create something, get your hammer and nails out and build something. This is a wonderful opportunity to start something new. It feels super powerful. Like, whatever you're beginning this week, it feels transformative, and it feels like it won't just be this week. You're going to start something that's going to go on long term, is what it feels like this week, Geminis. Okay. Take another swig here. All right, now we go to Cancers. Sun, moon, risings, or stelliums in Cancer. We are the world. We are the world. So this is the card that represents the ultimate in potentiality. Anything is possible is what this card says. What do you want in your life? Who do you want in your life? Where do you want to go on the planet? This is like no limitations. Anything's possible, because not only is it encompassing these people, encompassing the whole globe, they're all vibing and getting along with each other well. And look, we got the stars and the universe here behind it as well. So this is like, dream big. You could have some major click, 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 click things coming together. It feels like there's real synchronicity happening this week, Cancers, where like you get an idea, you start going for it, and then you found that it's connected to something or someone else. Like it feels like you can feel that you're not alone in your manifestations this week, that the universe is like helping you out and bringing you, like your spirit guides are working overtime to help connect you with the right people, right ideas. Again, there's a centering energy that I'm getting with the Cancers. Like, make sure that you're spending time meditating, chanting, soaking in the tub, going for a meditative walk, staring into a fire. But because I feel like you can download some amazing insights from spirit this week too. Like, this is like whatever you want to experience. To me, this week could hold like all your dreams coming true, or the start of all your dreams coming true, envisioning that these dreams will be coming true. And, over this next 6 months, I feel like so many areas of your life are going to be transformed and changed in a very positive way, Cancers. All righty. Now the Lions, the Leos, Sun, Moon, Rising, stelliums in Leo. The Adventure card. This is a new beginning. It's stepping into the rainbow. You may not know what lies ahead, but you know which way is the door to step through. This is like just following the next right step and listening to your intuition and believing in the best case scenarios that could happen in your life. Like this little kid, it's like inner child feels, you know, it's like Christmas morning where you walk around the corner and you wonder what's going to be under the tree. You don't know, but you know you're going to get some presents. This is that same kind of energy I'm getting, Leos. That's like you're stepping into some of your dreams coming true. You're stepping into new things opening up for you in a way that they never have before. To me, this is like some long-term dreams being fulfilled, or the beginning of that. You may actually have that sort of realization that something is already in your life that you dreamed about as a kid, or this, you could just get ideas downloaded this week, Leos, about what to start to. And I get, in some cases, there's Leos with children, because there's a kid in this card that your children are also having some great things opening up for them. Leos, so there's opportunities that are opening up, and maybe both of you, maybe you and your kid are going to do something together, Leos. I don't know. Not all of you have children, I know, but I was just getting that for some Leos with children are going to find that there's something huge opening up for their children, or maybe a child is being born coming into life. Maybe you've got a Leo that's pregnant, or someone in your life is about to have a baby if you're a Leo. So a new person coming in quite literally could happen. And again, if it's not this week, it's like soon. Again, in this next 6 month period, there could be something new coming in. It feels like, and it's the adventure card. You may plan an adventure. You may plan some sort of wonderful trip to take or to do if you're into those kind of things. Yeah, it's a wonderful, something new. It's not the same old this week, Leo. It's something new adventures. All right, Virgos, sun, moon, risings or stelliums in Virgo. You have a stellium in Virgo. There's a lot of Mercury, a lot of being up in your head. Again, you too might find it extra challenging to try to meditate and get still with your mind. You may find better luck with doing yoga to meditate, doing breath work, focusing on chanting, or you may find playing an instrument or walking or soaking, staring at a fire is easier for you to quiet your mind. Doing an activity that's calming may help you if you feel kind of overrun by your mind. The Trust card is coming up for the Virgos. So this is taking that big leap of faith, trusting yourself first off, your own intuitive voice, that it's guiding you and leading you in the right way, that the universe has got you, that you could feel like you're soaring this week, like, whew, something's lightening up, like, oh my God, this feels so good. Like something that's been weighing on you gets lifted off, that you can really find that you can trust the other people in your life. You can trust your spirit guides. You can trust the universe. This is just feels so delicious and so delightful. You may be flying quite literally. There may be some Virgos that are taking a trip on a plane, I'm getting, just because this guy is like flying through the air. Or you may be planning a trip where you'd be getting on a plane. If you're feeling led to do that this week, it's definitely a yes, go for it. If that was one of your questions, yes, go ahead, plan that trip, take that trip. Trust yourself first and foremost. Trust your own gut. Do not override your own intuition. Rational, logical mind with Virgos can really take over, and you can be batting things up in your head. But when something feels right in your gut, that's where the trust comes in, because you can't trust the mind. The mind is just made, it's a little computer, and just like our own computers can have glitches and malware gets on, and so our brain can be downloaded, and we could have had negative programming that gets in the way. But our intuition is connected to our higher self, is connected to the source energy, divine highest energy. You can trust the voice of your intuition. You can trust yourself. So this is a faith walk this week, and with positive results, Virgos. Okie dokie. All right, Libras. And I need to spritz myself. Rose water. This is rose essential oil. I got this at Whole Foods. And then I put Rescue Remedy, which is a Bach flower remedy for, so whenever I feel kind of staticky, I have it right here and I spritz myself. I also have a bottle in the car. So when I'm in traffic and something gets intensive, which it often does, driving around in Austin traffic, I just spritz myself with this rose water that has Rescue Remedy in it. And it's amazing. So if you've never heard of Rescue Remedy, that's what this is, Bach flower remedies. So the fact that I did that before the Libras, that might be a special direction for you guys to go get some. Make your own potion of rose water to help clear your energetic field. All righty. Sun, moon, rising, and stelliums in Libra. You've got a stellium in Libra. The Libra's the scales, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It can make decision-making incredibly challenging because you want to weigh everything out, everything. Well, maybe this, maybe that, maybe this, maybe that. You also are the peacemakers generally, Libras, keeping the peace. And you have the Fool card. This is not about being foolish. It's about following your intuition off the cliff. Like you can take a leap of faith and trust your intuition as it's guiding you to take this leap. Like it doesn't matter what other people think, right? Don't worry about what anybody else may think of your plan, your decisions, the actions that you take. How do they resonate within you? If it's aligned within you, I always ask for confirmation when I'm making big choices, big decisions. All right, universe, confirm it. If this is my person, confirm, confirm, confirm. If this is not my person, block, 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 right? If this is my right job, confirm, confirm, confirm. If it's not my right job, block, block, block. That's just an example of like, of course, I haven't been working for myself for over 30 years. So, but I'm just throwing that out as an example for those of you Libras that may be trying to make a decision. And this is about, you can trust yourself. You can trust your own intuitive take. And when you get a hit, you'll get a confirmation if you pay attention, right? When you're in rhythm, when you're listening to your higher self and taking action on it, there's a rhythm that develops, a flow to your life, right? Libras are all about the flow, right? Conversely, when you're off track, you feel it. You feel stuck. You start feeling like you're imploding. You get red lights and brick walls, stop signs everywhere you turn. That's a sign that you're off track in some way. And how do you get on track? Spiritual practices, meditation, chanting, taking a walk in the woods, staring into a flame, soaking in the tub, breath work. There's lots of ways to get calm inside, but that's how you get still enough to know what your inner voice is guiding you to do. And then when you have that thing, okay, I think I'm feeling guided to do that. Universe, confirm it for me. Throw it back out there. Confirm it 3 times if you're doubting skeptic, but I get that if you listen to your intuition and take a leap of faith and step out, not caring what anybody else thinks about what you're doing, you're going to make a life-changing step forward this week in a big major way. You're going to start something new that's life-changing, is what it feels like to me for the Libras. All right, Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, Stelliums, and Scorpio. So you definitely are feeling extra strong, or will be, with this lunar eclipse, because your sign of Scorpio is opposite this eclipse in Taurus, especially if you're got any planets, your suns or any other planets you have are in the later degrees of Scorpio. You're going to be feeling this super personally. Let's see what's on tap. Beyond transformation, the Scorpios. You probably already been going through it because the sun's been moving through Scorpio for several weeks now. And we've also had Mercury and Mars come in, not as long as the sun's been there, but so you're probably already feeling like you're being transformed and doing things maybe you've never done before this already over the last few weeks. Okay, so we have the tuning in card. This is one of my psychic cards in the deck. It indicates whenever I pull this in a client's reading, it means they are psychic. They are very intuitive. And again, I believe everyone is, but this is denoting extra strong abilities. And Scorpios, you guys have natural ease with psychic intuition, right? So this is about trusting your intuition big time this week. You also see all these other kind of energies around. There may be a medium kind of thing that goes down with for y'all this week, where you may feel you're being talked to from loved ones that have passed. Or it could be your spirit guides that you're really feeling strongly. You could be picking up on people that are not physically with you, but you're psychically picking up on them. You could be having downloads in your dreams this week. This psychic woman here is in meditation. Her eyes are closed. She's centering herself. So it's definitely also a call, Scorpios, to make sure you're meditating this week, spending time breathing deeply, just pausing, chanting, doing whatever it does that hooks you in to your higher self. You may want to try something new or dive into what you know works for you, but you will be getting strong, powerful psychic downloads this week. So, it's exciting. I would invite you to write them down, in a journal, or, communicate them, especially if you get a hit for someone else, communicate that with them. Communication sometimes opens up the channel even bigger. For me personally, when I started doing readings for others, it was just for friends, for fun. When I started, did never plan to be a psychic. But it was in doing readings for others that my abilities got stronger and more developed. So there's something powerful just in opening up your mouth. If someone comes across your radar psychically, reach out to them. Chances are they'll be saying, I was just thinking about you, or I was just about to call you, because your psychic abilities are heightened this week, big time. So enjoy that. It's exciting what you might be picking up on this week. Okay, Sagittariuses, Sun, Moon, Rising, Stelliums, and Sag. You got more than one planet in Sag, you got a little bonfire going on. Alrighty. The maturity card is coming up. So this card comes up when it's important to do self-care. This is about nurturing yourself, turning up the volume on what you need to do to love and nurture yourself. Soak in the tub, get some body work, massage, acupuncture, chiropractic care, get some Reiki, buy yourself some flowers, eat really healthy this week, like pay attention, drink lots of water, get more rest than usual, do whatever you feel guided to do when it comes to self-care. Get yourself a mani-pedi. And you may not feel like being so social this week. You may really feel more introspective with this powerful energy going on with the lunar eclipse. It may make you feel like it's too peoply out there. So this may just be, I just kind of want to duck and cover and nurture me. You may want to just curl up with a book instead, or just take a walk out in the green belt or in nature somehow. But it feels very sweet and very exquisite. It doesn't feel like, oh, I'm feeling lonely or feeling alone. It's like, ooh, I get to nurture myself. I get to be alone, is what it feels like. I really love myself. To me, there's a shift in your self-love this week, Sagittarius. Like, I deserve some time. I deserve to do this. Say no. If someone wants you to do something for them and you're going, ugh, I don't want to do that. Don't. You don't have to. You can back out of something you've already agreed to do too. It's just not work. It's not going to work for me. So sorry. Oh, I'm not willing to do that. You can say no with love. No is a, complete sentence, by the way. So I just invite you to say no when it doesn't feel right, when it comes to connecting with others, and turn up the volume on self-nurturing this week, Sagittarius is. Okay, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stelliums in Capricorn. Capricorn's natural leaders, naturally hardworking. They get things done. If a Capricorn tells you they're going to do something, they pretty much do it. Unless you are overrun by other planets and other signs that are more wishy-washy. But Capricorn usually has a very get her done energy, hardworking. The Innocence card is coming up. This is the grandfather that has the wisdom. He's seen it all and he has the wisdom and he knows how to appreciate the little things in life, right? So this could be you just taking into account your own inner wisdom, what you've learned so far, what you already know to be true. This could be seeking out sage advice and counsel from someone else that you know dispenses wisdom. So you may like want to reach out and get a psychic reading. You may want to reach out and get some therapy or talk to your dad or talk to your teacher or your mentor or your sensei, and get some sage advice. Your grandfather, this is the old guy, right? So you may be the grandfather or the grandmother. You may be dispensing advice to others in that case. You may this be maybe a week where everybody's coming to you for advice. It could happen that way as well. I'm getting Capricorns. But it feels like there's a lot of deep level wisdom that's the highlight of the week, like just like knowing what's true, knowing what's right, knowing the right direction in your life, knowing what your path is. And again, if you have questions, then get some confirmation from someone who can hold a big mirror up so that you can get that validated, get your own intuition validated. If you're questioning, well, I think maybe this, you get in front of a mirror, as it were, someone else that can mirror back to you what they see in you. And you may be channeling to others. You may be out of your mouth to the other people what someone else needs to hear. You may be unaware of it. Capricorns are pretty grounded. They may not know that they're channeling information to others or just showing up at the right time or calling someone at the right time. But this is a really lovely week of feeling like your wisdom. The highlight word is wisdom this week for the Capricorns. All righty. Go to the Aquariuses, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Stellium in Aquariuses. You little unpredictable folks, you. Aquarians like things outside of the box, unique, different. Most Aquarians have a circle of friends that you wouldn't know what the common thread was. You like it like that. You believe in everybody. All humanity is good. Okay. The Beyond Illusion card is coming up. This is the third eye opening. So this is psychic insight. It's about trusting your intuition. It's about getting spiritual downloads or messages in your dream state. When you're sleeping, when you're meditating, there's like big transformative, see this butterfly here, transformative visions can come in for the Aquarians this week. You may be getting them directly is what I feel strongest about. You may be interacting with someone else who gives that to you. To me, this is coming directly from most of you guys, where you can go into meditation, you can have a dream that's vivid, you can get into sort of a trance-like state and just really get some transformative information. Even have like an astral travel experience this week, Aquarians. Like this is, I just get that this is going to be off the chain. You guys are pretty intuitive anyway, because you're air signs. And so you love to communicate, love to connect. You may be getting strong hits about other people. I would advise you to reach out and tell someone if you get a hit or insight about someone else, if you know that they will be open to it, because your gut tells you that, share it with them. If it's for you, you might want to write it down so you can be clear and see if it does not get indeed confirmed. There may be even some alien connection for some of you, like really getting some downloads from the Pleiadians or from another source somewhere else. That's weird. I've never gotten that before, but you guys may already have had some experiences with the connections with aliens or abductions or that kind of thing, or felt like you may have had. You ever had some missing time that you can't account for? Yeah, there's just super powerful insight, direction. Like if you quiet your mind, you will be absolutely strongly, clearly guided and directed this week. No questions. And transformation is, right, what happens, the butterfly was a little worm, right? A little caterpillar, and then has to go into a cocoon go to sleep, take a long winter's nap, and then comes out a completely different creature. So there is something greatly transformative about what you're going through in your life right now. Like you're becoming a whole new being, is what I get as well for the Aquarians. So fly, 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 little butterflies. All right, and then we'll do Pisces, sun, moon, rising, stellium in Pisces, the slippery fish. Okay, you have the guilt card coming up. So it feels like there's, with all this transformation energy this week, that you have the opportunity to transform something that you've been dogging yourself about. Like if you keep replaying something that's happened in the past, it feels like there's a loop where you're stuck in the past. This is an opportunity to get yourself unhooked off that loop, clear out the trauma. It's not always guilt. This card often just represents being stuck up in your head, just batting things up to around, chewing on stuff too much. So this is a card that says, quiet your mind. What centers you and pulls you out of your head, right? Not worrying about the future, not replaying the past. What gets you connected in the present moment? Maybe playing music yourself, if you play an instrument, or putting on music to listen to can transport you to someone else. Picking up the phone and calling someone and just letting your, like, outing yourself, saying, I am stuck in this stuff. Can you give me any insight? Can you help me with this? But this is, I just feel like your heart needs to be unloaded, with gunk that has already gone down. Like if it happened 2 decades ago, 2 months ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 seconds ago, it's over. You can't do anything to change it. So bring your present awareness into the now. You might need to go online and listen to some guided meditations that help you with that. Do some chanting, prayer, take a walk if that centers you, soak in the tub if that centers you, stare into a bonfire if that centers you. But you need to get yourself out of this berating yourself. If it's not you, it could be someone in your life, Pisces, that's doing this, and you may be seeing them doing this, and you may need to reach out to someone else who looks like they're stuck and struggling with some emotional baggage, because it may not be you. Pisces are often healers and counselors, so you may just have this showing up around you in spades this week, in which case, be in the moment. What do I feel guided to say to this person? What do I feel guided to offer this person? How can I help this person? Often the best way to get out of your own shit, even if it is you that you're going through, is to reach out and help someone else, right? Find a way to put your focus on someone else that may be struggling more than you are. Another cool thing to do in meditation is to breathe in all the gnarly feelings that you're feeling, and then breathe out what you want to be feeling, and then think of everybody else on the planet that could be struggling in the same way that you are, and breathe in and out for everyone that's in the same boat with you, because this feels like you're feeling very isolated and by yourself. You're not. There's a lot of people on this planet right now super struggling. So if you just turn your attention to psychically, you might not even know anybody personally that's struggling. I can guarantee you there's millions of people on the planet right now, this moment, that are struggling in the same way that you are. So sometimes it can be very powerful to go with that thought in mind into meditation or chanting or prayer, and just envision that you bring yourself peace and serenity, and that everyone else that's struggling in the same way also finds peace and serenity, right? So that's what I suggest for the Pisces. And that's it for all 12 signs. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe, share this video with your friends. And if you need to contact me for a reading, I'm here. I'll put my website and my email below, and you can reach out and connect with me. Thank you so much for your long attention. Peace.